Certainly is. And speaking of amazing, the gentleman who's sitting down with us right now,
just the
get
best.
ready, Kevin Harlan, to have your tires pumped for about 9 minutes, okay?
I get sounds
you
good.
Know where
hold
you
on,
are.
though. Hold on. What is this House of Wingman? Buffalo wings. We got 3 that have been eaten, 3 that have not. A lot of sauce in one of the corners. Can I dig in this, or is this? I'm not going to. I've had a bad stomach all week. I can't do that.
Welcome back on.
Hey, thank you so much. Good to see you guys. Yes.
You know we love having
I love being on with you guys, too, man. Love it.
Well, couple of things. First and foremost, weren't you calling a basketball game like 6 hours ago?
I was in Boston, yeah. And Mavs go in there with no Luka. AD didn't play. They were missing 3 starters. Lively wasn't there. PJ Washington, his wife had a baby, so he wasn't there. And so it was one of those nights where they had to rely on their bench, and they beat the Celtics. Interestingly enough, the Celtics have come off of 3 consecutive road trips where they've gone like 3-1 or 3-0, and the first game back home they lose. So I would never want to say a defending champion's going through the motions, because that's not fair. But I would say they need this season to speed up. They can't wait to get this All-Star weekend passed, and then they'll see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they'll start making the run.
Kevin, the reason I asked you about basketball last night is what a grueling grind it is. I mean, you're on the call for Westwood One of Super Bowl 59 on Sunday, but you love it so much. I mean, you've been so gracious with your time with me over the years as someone who wants to do play-by-play, and it's funny because – one of the things you always talk about is your passion, but you're getting off the hardwood. You're flying to the Super Bowl. You're doing what you got to do, drinking the coffee and the tea, I'm sure, for the pipes. But you got to still love it, right?
How lucky am I? If you would have told my 14-year-old self that this would be my life and be able to do it for this is my 40th, just finished my 40th. This will be the conclusion, my 40th consecutive year doing NFL play-by-play. I would have said, not in my wildest imagination would I feel that blessed and that lucky. So here I am, talk with great people like you, people I respect and enjoy to listen to, and now here we are talking at a Super Bowl in New Orleans. I mean, I've got to be the luckiest guy in the world, and I'm so appreciative. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of my good fortune, how lucky I've been. And so with that comes responsibility of doing the best job, and the older you get, making sure you're evolving and continuing to get better and trying to improve. And so that's constant self-critiquing, which is a painful process, but it is one that I've used since I was a teenager, and I've kind of stuck with that and don't plan to deviate until I retire.
So, Kevin, obviously Sunday is a pretty darn big game. What's your drop? Yes. What's your drop dead where you go, you know what, I can't do any other game. Obviously, you wouldn't do a game Saturday night in any other sport. Would you do one Friday night? Like, let's say that the Pelicans are really good and it was a big game. Would you do like a New Orleans game Friday into Sunday? Or like, what's your drop there where you got to go, I got to make sure my fastball's live on Sunday?
Well, remember a couple of years ago, the game was in Indianapolis, and CBS had me slated for a Notre Dame basketball game in South Bend. And I drove in Friday night of Super Bowl weekend from Indy after being on Radio Row all day Friday. Drove to South Bend Friday night. Did the game. I think they played Marquette. It was Marquette and Notre Dame. Got back in the car, drove back to Indy, was able to get to our production meeting, and then did the game on Sunday. So that has only happened the one time. Quite frankly, this game has probably less anecdotal and statistical stuff in front of me than any other game I do.
Really?
In the regular season, you're trying to tell the story, and you're trying to connect all the different things that have gone on and where they are and where they could go and what might be around the corner. In this game, you guys have talked about every storyline. Everybody that is here has talked about every storyline. People know what those storylines are. Now, I've got like 5 headlines in my head for each team, but the only thing that matters from our perspective on Sunday is the call, because all the preparation, this 2-week pregame show has been going on nonstop. So now people want the game. And so as a play unfolds, you may try to put it in perspective with a little note or a little something right there. But if I'm talking, Kurt Warner's not. I got to let Kurt Warner talk and diagnose the play, figure out why a team is winning or losing, what they've got to do to win or lose, or to get back in it, or to hold the lead, whatever the case may be. So it's a pretty it's a pretty rigid structure how our broadcast goes. TV, there's a lot more sway. There's a lot. It's more it's conversational. There's spacing, pockets of space in the broadcast where you don't say anything at all. Radio is just a different animal. So it's all incumbent on me knowing these play, my quick twitch ability to get that play out, come up with the right words, right pacing, right inflection, and that's really my challenge. That it's not trying to remember all the literally thousands of information points. It's making sure that I am spot on that play call, because it could be any play at any time in the biggest game of the year, and my call will be the most important thing that I'll do that afternoon.
The legend, the icon, Kevin Harlan is with us on Grant and Danny. I look forward to this every year. We get to talk to all these Hall of Fame players and everybody. I'm like, when is Kevin Harlan sitting down?
Man, you are too nice to me, man. You are too nice.
So
we sit next to each other when I do a game at the stadium, don't we?
That's right.
Whatever it's called now. I'm not even sure.
Northwest Stadium.
Yeah, that stadium. But
very classy stadium, by the way. One of the best in football.
Do you like it now more than you did before?
That was a joke.
I'm sorry. I just got off a flight of 6 hours, for God's sakes. I've not had solid food since Sunday night. You're trying to pull that. No, I'm just kidding.
They did dump $70 million into it, and it is the new owners are trying.
Until the new one comes into play, right?
We're hoping for 2030 back in the city.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? At the same site of the old stadium?
The idea is that they'd be back.
Wouldn't that be phenomenal?
Did you call games there?
When I was with Fox, I did. Yes, wow. I did. We had the tiniest little booth. And I remember when I was in there for Fox in the early 90s, going into that booth at the old stadium, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, Summerall and Madden put themselves in this same TV booth to broadcast the Redskins and whoever they were, the Cowboy games, those big games, those important games, those playoff games. Summerall and Madden wedged themselves in this booth. I remember we had to duck down. Our view was like about a 4-foot span and up and down and about 5 to 8 feet wide. And that was it. And we were ducking and sitting down and trying to watch punts go, because sometimes, I mean, it was impossible.
What's the hardest thing, baseball-wise, is, home run, no home run, whatever. For you in a football booth, because you're not, you guys are getting 50-yard line ideally. You're not like.
Not in radio, we're not. Not in radio. Really? Where we sit at the.
Well, you guys have a terrible seat.
Yeah,
there.
that is a bad one. It's the worst in the
NFL. And we were in the corner of the end zone.
Yes,
yes. For you, if you have a normal good view, what's the hardest thing? I think field goals, good or no good, are really difficult sometimes.
Very hard. I've been wrong occasionally, and I have learned just to really discipline myself to wait for the officials under the crossbar.
You're just looking at arms.
But they're so slow. But they're trying to make sure they got it too.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute, dope. If they're waiting and they're right under the ball, they're looking straight up and they can see the direction it's going. If they're waiting to make sure it's through, you should wait till it's through. So that is what I've been doing, and that has served me well. A lot of times, if we're watching on TV, you get the end zone view and you can see it go through. Sometimes you're fooled. It looks like it's straight, and it is, but it falls short. Or sometimes it starts right and then veers left, like it's weird. The whole thing is just so obtuse to try to grasp how the geometry involved in how these guys kick. What is hard also is if a play has happened below you on the near sideline, and with all the players standing right there, you can't see flags, you can't see if he's out of bounds, you can't see how the tackle was made, like you're really lost. So you're just kind of calling it, and he's tackled on the near sideline, as you can see at the 25-yard line, and then just kind of pausing there to see if there's been a flag thrown. I can't tell how many times a guy has thrown a flag on the sideline. We never see it. Happened the other night in Buffalo, in the Kansas City-Buffalo game. Supposedly a flag was on there. I thought, well, it's got to be on the near sideline. We just can't see it. But there was no flag, I guess, and I don't know if they picked it up or they didn't throw one or we got bad information. But anyway, flag on the near sideline's tough. A tackle on the near sideline's tough. But we work through it. I'm not complaining at all.
They got to ban yellow cleats, too.
Yeah, right? Kelsey wears yellow shoes. Yeah. And he's out there flipping around and doing his dance for his girlfriend up in the press box, and sometimes you don't know if it's a flag or his shoes.
All right, so before we let you go,
Grant, come on.
I'll apologize in advance, okay? This guy here is a Harlan Mark. Okay, Darius Dameron, our producer. Okay, first time getting to be here. Can you do like a little like Darius is typing on his computer?
So it's Darius?
Darius.
Not Darius, it's Darius.
He's been talking about meeting you for months. We share our Westwood One takes all the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We get our scouting reports. So this is Darius.
Well, Darius may look like Kendrick Perkins, but I'm telling you right now, he's got more grit. He's got more soul. This man is unstoppable. Whether he's typing on his computer, whether he's covering an event, whether he's turning the dials for this great station, 106.7, Darius is the man constantly answering the call and sending it home.
Let's go, Kevin. By the way, he's got a ringtone. I mean, Darius, you could just die now if you want.
That's it. I'm done. What is life? That's it. It's the end.
And Danny, I can see you on the computer here. He's got it on. I can see you in Washington, so I'm sorry you're not here.
Yeah,
7-day-old
baby.
baby.
Fun, I know.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your life will never be the same.
No kidding. We have two much older ones, and this one's we like to call a surprise, Kevin. So,
so now you got three.
Yeah.
Now you got three.
Yeah.
Start that 529, baby. Get that thing rolling.
Zone defense thing rolling. 529s, my friend. That's right.
You're gonna. Well, I was gonna say you're gonna see stuff in that diaper you never thought a human should possibly see. But you've seen it already, and you're going to see more of it. So congratulations and good luck. Sincerely, congratulations.
Thank you, Kevin.
There's nothing better than being a dad, and there's nothing better than being a grandfather. That's the reward for being a parent. Is being a grandparent.
Well, given how old my oldest is, I don't have that many years to wait. So again, it's a surprise. Emphasis on that.
Oh gosh, Kevin, thank you.
Hey, great to see you. Yeah,
fun.
good to be on with you
God,
guys. Thank you so
I love
much.
some Kevin Harlan, and I don't care who knows it.